In politics, you're either on message or you are losing. Let's get to it. Welcome to On Message, a weekly look at where the battle lines are drawn and who is winning the war of words. This week, what's in a name? One of the biggest debates during Utah's annual 45-day legislative session this year has been a future and potential name change for Dixie State University. Now, if you live in Utah, the name Dixie likely seems just fine. You've grown up with that meaning nothing more than Southern Utah. And if you're not from Utah or watching from anywhere else in the United States, you likely had a slightly more visceral reaction to a term tied to the Deep South and to oppression for many. Proponents of changing the university's name point out that it doesn't send the message that aligns with the current vision of the institution, while opponents of the change say they don't want their school to become a casualty of cancel culture. To some extent, this is a matter of connotation versus denotation. The word Dixie is defined as an informal name for the southern states of the U.S. But the connotation, the idea or feeling a word invokes in addition to its literal or primary meaning, is very different for many. Put it another way. How many kids do you know named Adolf? And how fashionable has it been in the last 80 years to have a small mustache that's only about as wide as your nose? Sure, you could have one and you could argue that you mean it as a tribute to Charlie Chaplin, but you better be ready to explain that in a hurry because that is not the first thing that will come to mind for most people who see it. The name Dixie State University is Charlie Chaplin's mustache. It means one thing to people who grew up here, but far more people see it as Hitler's mustache. So what's the lesson? What matters is not what you try to communicate, but what your audience actually sees, hears, and interprets. Words and symbols have meaning, but the meaning that matters is what the audience sees or hears in our attempt to communicate. The burden of getting it right is on the presenter. The Dixie State University name is now impacting students who go out into the workforce and have to justify the name or explain to potential employers that they didn't attend a racist institution to gain the skills they need to succeed in the workforce. In practicality, the name is a hurdle to delivering the very value the overall institution promises to matriculating students, and that's a problem. To move the name change along, legislative leaders and others did a nice job of reframing the argument. Racially insensitive versus part of our heritage wasn't a winning battle for either side, so reframing the argument to focus on lofty goals based on common ground was the smart way to go. Supporters of the name change pointed out that DSU, located in one of the fastest growing parts of the country, is primed to become a regional polytechnical university. Realizing that vision requires attracting students, professors, and yes, donations from outside of Utah. That clarifies the choice a lot. Keep the name at the expense of the bigger vision, or make the change and grow into something remarkable. Frame the argument correctly, and the choice you are advocating for becomes much clearer. That's it for us this week. More On Message in the next issue of the Utah Political Underground. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, you really should subscribe to our Utah Political Underground email so you get each issue delivered directly to your inbox each week.